Imagine this, as you watch this video, the money in your bank account is quietly losing value. Even if you don't spend a dime, inflation is at work, making every dollar worth less with each passing year. Most people don't realize how much this silent force eats away at their savings. In this video, we'll break down what inflation really is, why it happens, and most importantly, what you can do to protect your hard-earned money. Let's start by understanding the basics of inflation and why it matters for everyone, no matter your age or income. Inflation is simply the rate at which prices for goods and services rise over time. This means that as inflation goes up, your money buys less. For example, if inflation is 5%, something that costs $100 today will cost $105 next year. It's not just about numbers on a screen, this affects your daily life from groceries to gas to rent. Understanding inflation is the first step to making smarter financial decisions and protecting your savings from losing value year after year. Let's put inflation into perspective with a simple example. At 5% inflation, $100 today will only buy what $105 will next year. If your savings account earns just 1%, you're actually losing 4% in real terms. This is why it feels like your money doesn't stretch as far as it used to. The numbers may look the same in your account, but what you can buy with them keeps shrinking. Recognizing this gap is crucial for anyone who wants to build real wealth. So why does inflation happen in the first place? One big reason is when governments print more money. When there's more money chasing the same amount of goods, prices naturally rise. Another cause is when demand for products is higher than the supply, sellers can charge more because people are willing to pay. Central banks like the Federal Reserve try to control inflation by adjusting interest rates, but it's a constant balancing act. Governments print more money, it might seem like everyone gets richer, but in reality it just means there's more cash in the system chasing the same amount of goods and services. This increased demand pushes prices up, and suddenly your money doesn't go as far as it used to. It's a classic case of too much money, not enough stuff. This is one of the main drivers behind inflation, and it's something central banks watch closely. Another reason for inflation is when demand for goods and services exceeds supply. Think about the latest tech gadget or a popular concert. When everyone wants it and there's not enough to go around, prices go up. This isn't just about luxury items, it can happen with everyday essentials like food and gas. When supply can't keep up with demand, inflation takes hold and we all feel the pinch in our wallets. Central banks like the Federal Reserve in the US play a key role in managing inflation. They use tools like interest rates to try and keep inflation under control. When inflation is rising too fast, they might raise interest rates to slow down borrowing and spending. If the economy is sluggish, they might lower rates to encourage growth. It's a delicate balance, and their decisions impact everyone's finances. Here where inflation really hurts, your savings. Imagine you have $10,000 in a savings account earning just 0.5% interest, but inflation is running at 4%. For 10 years, your money will only be worth about $6,700 in today's purchasing power. This is often called the inflation tax. Your balance might go up a little, but what you can actually buy with it goes down. It's a hidden cost that can seriously impact your financial future. Inflation tax isn't a tax you pay to the government, but it feels just as real. Your account balance might slowly grow, but if inflation is higher than your interest rate, your real wealth is shrinking. Over time, this can make a huge difference in your ability to afford the things you need. That's why it's so important to understand how inflation works and take steps to protect your savings. The good news is you don't have to let inflation eat away at your money. There are investments that have historically outpaced inflation, helping you grow your wealth instead of watching it shrink. Let's look at some of the best options for beating inflation and building a more secure financial future. Stocks and index funds are some of the best tools for beating inflation. Historically, the stock market has returned about 10% per year, well above average inflation rates. By investing in a broad mix of companies, you can grow your money faster than inflation eats it away. It's important to remember that stocks can go up and down in the short term, but over the long run, they've been a powerful way to build wealth. Real estate is another popular way to protect your money from inflation. Property values tend to rise over time, often keeping pace with or even beating inflation. Whether you own your home or invest in rental properties, real estate can provide both income and appreciation. It's a tangible asset that holds value even as prices rise elsewhere in the economy. TIPS, or Treasury Inflation Protected Securities, are government bonds designed to keep up with inflation. Their value automatically adjusts as inflation rises, so your investment keeps its real value over time. TIPS are a safe and reliable way to protect your savings from being eroded by rising prices, making them a smart choice for conservative investors. Gold has been used as a hedge against inflation for thousands of years. When paper money loses value, gold often holds steady or even increases in price. While it doesn't pay interest or dividends, many investors include gold in their portfolios as a way to balance risk and protect against the unknown. One simple way to fight inflation is by moving your emergency fund into a high-yield savings account. These accounts often pay 4–5% interest, much higher than traditional savings accounts. While it won't make you rich, it does help your cash keep up with rising prices, especially for money you need to keep safe and accessible. Investing a portion of your income in index funds is a smart way to grow your wealth over time. Index funds spread your money across hundreds of companies, reducing risk and capturing the overall growth of the market. This strategy has helped millions of people beat inflation and build long-term financial security. While it's important to have some cash for emergencies, holding large amounts of cash long-term can be risky. Inflation slowly eats away at its value, so it's better to keep only what you need for short-term expenses and invest the rest in assets that grow over time. Protecting yourself from inflation doesn't have to be complicated. Start by moving your emergency fund to a high-yield savings account, invest regularly in index funds, and avoid holding too much cash. These simple steps can make a big difference in preserving your wealth over time. Take a close look at your current savings and investments. Are you earning enough interest to keep up with inflation? If not, consider making changes to your strategy. Small adjustments now can have a big impact on your future financial security. Setting clear financial goals can help you stay motivated and focused. Whether you're saving for a house, retirement, or just building an emergency fund, knowing what you're working toward makes it easier to make smart decisions that beat inflation. Regularly tracking your progress helps you see how your money is growing and whether you're staying ahead of inflation. Use simple tools or apps to monitor your savings and investments. This way, you can make changes quickly if needed and stay on track toward your goals. Inflation rates and economic conditions can change quickly. Stay informed by following reliable news sources and financial updates. The more you know, the better you can protect your money and make smart decisions no matter what the economy is doing. If you're unsure about your investment options or how to protect your money from inflation, don't hesitate to ask for advice. Financial advisors can help you create a plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. Sometimes, a little expert guidance can go a long way. Diversifying your investments means spreading your money across different assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate. This reduces risk and increases your chances of beating inflation. A well-diversified portfolio is one of the best defenses against rising prices. Automating your savings and investments makes it easier to stay consistent. Set up automatic transfers to your high-yield savings account or investment accounts. This way, you're always building your wealth even if you forget or get busy. Financial plans aren't set in stone. Review your strategy regularly to make sure it's still working for you. Life changes and so do economic conditions. Adjust your plan as needed to stay ahead of inflation and reach your goals. The world of personal finance is always changing. Make it a habit to keep learning about new investment options, savings strategies, and economic trends. The more you know, the better you can protect your money from inflation and other risks. Don't keep what you learn to yourself. Share tips and strategies with friends and family. Helping others understand inflation and how to beat it can make a big difference in their lives, too. Financial literacy is a gift that keeps on giving. Consistency is key when it comes to building wealth and beating inflation. Stick to your plan, keep saving and investing, and don't get discouraged by short-term ups and downs. Over time, your efforts will pay off and your money will grow. Inflation is a reality we all face, but with the right knowledge and actions, you can protect your money and build a secure future. Remember to review your finances, invest wisely, and stay informed. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.